friends, it's Miss Parkin. Let's get started today with our song. I have a positive attitude. I'm responsible, have integrity. I'm dedicated and exceed expectations. I have Jackrabbit pride. Yeah! I have Jackrabbit pride. Yeah! I have Jackrabbit pride. Yeah! I have a positive attitude. I'm responsible, have integrity. I'm dedicated and exceed expectations. I have Jackrabbit pride. Yeah! Let's continue with our story today. After hearing Swimmer's mom give them suggestions of having a positive attitude, even in the not so great circumstances they were in, Swimmer, Jumper, and Skipper decided to make the most of their situation. And instead of thinking about how they were stuck and they couldn't get out, they decided to think of the situation as a big giant slumber party. And so, of course, they started off with wanting to do charades. And Swimmer would try to show jumping, and Jumper, of course, would say, "You're getting better, but like, I could tell you were jumping, but like you're not as bad a jumper as you were like when we first met." And Swimmer was like, "Thanks, that's really positive of you." And Skipper would, do the charade for swimming, and Swimmer would be like, "Man, your like fake swimming is better than your real swimming. That's great." And Skipper was like, "I guess that's a compliment, I think." And so they played charades for a good amount of time. And then some of Swimmer's brothers and sisters saw the boys playing and they were like, "We want to come play too. Can we play too? Oh, we can do it. We can do it." And Swimmer was like, "Oh, okay, sure." And the downside was that some of Swimmer's brothers and sisters, they were so little that they didn't know how to read yet. So like they couldn't really like read the little actions of like read the action of, "Oh, swimming. Okay, I'm gonna do swimming." Like they couldn't really read. And so Swimmer was like, "Well, like you can't really read." And they're like, "It's okay, we'll just make it up." And Swimmer's brothers and sisters could be very imaginative. Like they would guess, they're like, "Okay, you're poking something, you're fighting," and they'd be like, "Nope." It's like, "Okay, you're waving a stick back and forth, you're trying to ward off an attack," and they'd be like, "No, I'm fighting a dragon." "Okay, yeah, we totally could have guessed that. My bad. And so Swimmer's brothers and sisters would try to play along, but they just weren't as good as Swimmer, Jumper, and Skipper. And so Swimmer and his friends were getting a little frustrated. And so they were like, "What are we going to do? Like my brothers and sisters are like terrible at charades. Poor things. They're just terrible right now." And Jumper was like, "Yeah, they're like pretty awful." And Skipper was like, "I have an idea." Jumper was like, "Is it a better idea than the charades or us trying to play charades with little bitty bunnies?" And Skipper was like, "Actually, yeah. What if we act out a story?" I was reading one of the books from Swimmer's library, and I like read it like 3 or 4 times because I was bored and I got it memorized. And it's the story of Night Flufferlot. And it's like super cool. It has action and all that fun stuff. Jumper was like, "Great, but like you basically can tell us the whole story anyway, because you got it memorized. What's the point? Well, Skipper said, we can put on a show. Like, swimmers, brothers and sisters can be the actors and the characters in the story. Great. What do I do? Jumper said. Yeah, Skipper, Swimmer said. I'm not quite sure like what then I would do then, right? And Skipper said, well, I'll be the director because like I know how the story goes and I'm really good at being in charge of little bunny rabbits, keeping them in order and, you know, not jumping around like crazy. Hey, you sit down. And Swimmer, you could be in charge of the special effects. There's parts of the story where there's like a fire and there's like a flood and like I don't want you to actually make like a real fire or real flood, but like you're in charge of the special effects to make it look real. Okay, I can do that, Swimmer said. And Jumper was like, okay, what do I do then? I'm kind of interested. And Skipper was like, okay, so Jumper, there's some fight scenes, and I'll write them down and I'll tell you how the fight scenes go. You're gonna be the fight scene choreographer. So you have to make the fight scenes like really intense and really cool. Yeah, I could do that. But Skipper said, but Jumper, you have to make sure that none of Swimmer's brothers and sisters actually get hurt. Okay, challenge accepted. And so the friends worked together to put on a show. Jumper took care of the choreography and fight scenes. Swimmer took care of some of the special effects to make it look like the fire-breathing dragon was actually breathing out fire. And Swimmer's few brothers and sisters, they played the different characters in the parts. And Skipper was a pretty good director as well. And so they took a situation that was kind of and made it into a really great show. Let's end with our Jackrabbit chant. We are Jackrabbits, we show our pride. At the end of the day, we know we've tried. Believe we can achieve, we'll reach any dream. We are Jackrabbits, we are a team. Woo! One school, one team. One school, one team. Bye, friends. See you tomorrow.